Oh, I just realized the stream's on. My bad, guys. Hey, what's up, guys? Let me check this. What's up, guys? Let me pull on the chat up here. Feel free to ask me anything. Put this over here. I'm about to be in the chat, guys. Maggie. Maggie. Hey. All good. Hello, hello, hello. Good, good, good. Do-do-do-do-do. Hello, hello, hello. Okay, good. Good, good, good. So, what is all good? Well, a lot of things are good. Oh, we have 16 people in the chat? Oh, I didn't know that. Let me slow this down. Okay. Said hi. One said hi. Welcome, Maggie. Hey, all. Said hi. One. Hello. Hi. Welcome in. Yeah, so it's my brother came in here, and again, sorry, I'm reading some text. I just had a friend text me. I think she wants me to come over and help her with her chickens. You know what I mean? Let's see here. Box, YouTube, Impact. What is this? What is this thing? ENH. ENH. Hi. Cool. So, I have some hearts in here. Hello. Guys, feel free to ask me anything while we're here. So I've got this little audio interface going on here, and still kind of new to it, but I've got this little setting. Hello, hello. Message held for review. Is there a message held for review? Let me know if let's see, message held for review. What is this? Yeah, so feel free to ask me anything. I'm just, I was playing with some of these settings, and I'm just kind of working on a couple little things, a little something, something. I was working on the little piano. FL Keys is right here. Feel free to double type that. Listen to Maggie. Maggie said, feel free. tap that. Yeah, by the way, guys, feel free to ask me anything. Let's see what this sounds like on the background. Okay, hi. Yeah, by the way, guys, feel free to ask me anything. Let's see what this sounds like on the background. Effects. Direct wave. I feel like there should be something called yeah, guys, some topics of conversation. Business, mindset, music, philosophy, stocks, how to overcome addiction. Those are topics for discussion. Those are topics for discussion. All I ask is that you keep it somewhat appropriate. And I'm only running on a couple hours of sleep, so forgive me if I'm a little bit tired. I do have coffee. I do have coffee. Hey Maggie, I'm using my other phone. How's the audio? Can you hear me okay? Because I just have an older iPhone up there. So let me know if the audio is okay. Does this sound okay? Let's see. Audio's great. So I've been working on a new left-handed pattern, so let's see how it's at. Hell yeah, game changer. That's what I'm talking about. Now that is a man with a plan. I like that, man. So Game Changer is in the chat. Let me welcome back in Game Changer. Feel free. Audio is great. So Game Changer. Game Changer. Awesome. So Game Changer says, after our talk yesterday, I went and I set up my YouTube channel. It's I'm Game Changer. I set up a weight bench. I'm working on a diet plan. Yeah, hey, let's talk about your diet plan. You want some practical advice on a good diet plan that's not too strict? If I remember correctly, you said you were on a budget like a lot of people, right? We're all budgeting for food and stuff. Assuming that you can eat eggs and you can do that, I do think eggs are great. But if you'd like to talk about that, since you're in the channel and giving me some time, yeah, for sure. All I ask, tell some friends that you have. I am a certified trainer, right? For what that's worth, my job in the Navy, and I'll show you this over here in case a game changer. I don't know if you saw this last time, but this is my little layer over here. So there's the American flag. There's where I sit sometimes. And, you know, not to say that I know what I'm talking about, but I was trained as a ACFL in the Navy, and I did study some nutrition a bit. So, look, nutrition is something that is not hard to follow once you understand basic concepts. And there's more than one way to skin a cat. Okay? There's more than one way to skin a cat. So, take this time to pick my brain. And yeah, I'll answer some questions. Also, when you do a post, Game Changer, let's see where you're at over here. When you do a post, put at Mind, Music, and Muscle, and put a post up and give me a shout out. Because when you put the at symbol like this, I tell you guys, when you do this, well, look, man, at the end of the day, if I inspired you to get your ass going and stop making excuses and making it happen, then that's good. That's good because I have people like that in my life sometimes. So at the end of the day, you got a plan. You're putting it into action. So now it's on you. It's you versus you. 100%. And congrats to that. Today you don't sound like a man with an excuse. That's what I'll say. Today you sound like a man and say, well, you know what? I'm doing this. I'm going to make it happen. Sounds like you're on the right path. Yesterday, I wasn't convinced you were on the right path. Today, you've convinced me, at least for now, that you're on the right path. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so put an at right here, at that sign, and then Mind, Music, Muscle in a post. You can put a post, hey, shout out to Mind, Music, and Muscle for encouraging me, blah, 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 thanks. And what I'll do is I'll see that in my feed, and then I'll go into your channel and I'm going to look at some of your shorts and videos when you do it, and I'll give you some thumbs up and some encouragement. So that's fair, right? So then we both win. You don't got to buy anything from me. You just help me grow my little channel, and I'll give you a shout out and come in here and pick my brain. So questions on nutrition. Let's talk about that. That'll be the topic of the day. I did feel a little bit bad. I feel like I was a little hard on you, but I also felt like everything I said, there was an excuse that you brought to me, and I actually care about you, dude. So for me, when I see a man who's got a plan, or I see a man who has a goal, and they're making excuses versus making it a plan, it kind of gets me going, and sometimes I can be a little bit harsh, but just know that harshness is coming from a perspective of passion and love and care. Because if I didn't care, I wouldn't have said anything. I would just be like, yeah, go do you. And then that might have resulted in today being different. So when you think about it, it kind of all worked out. But at the end of the day, you know, let's talk about something that could be good as far as your goal with nutrition. And I'll tell you some tips to where, you know, if you want to be a bodybuilder or a power athlete and you want to spend money on a lot of food, meal prep, eat every 2 or 3 days, you want to get a super low body fat percentage, look, there's ways to do that. But if you're the average man and the average female who just wants a decent physique, there's a lot of ways to have it is so easy in today's world to have a very good looking physique without all these supplements and all this big bull crap that everyone's taking, right? Without SARMs, without peptides, without all this stuff, just basic common sense to have a decent physique. And then if you want more, then take it a little bit further. Simple as that. All right, I'm doing some squats again while I'm listening. Baby steps over here. Yeah, absolutely. Fun fact, fun fact, fun fact, fun fact. Let's talk fitness. Let's talk fitness and nutrition in the chat. Okay. Chat. No, I'm an onion head. All right, that would do for that. All right, there we go. Okie dokie. Yeah, so now I'm not saying eggs are going to have everything that you need. I'm not saying eggs are going to solve all your problems. What I am saying is typically, okay, when you take a vitamin or mineral, okay, when you take a vitamin or mineral, vitamin or mineral, there's fat-soluble vitamins, and then there's water-soluble vitamins. Some of them need fat to absorb, and some of them don't. So the benefit of having whole eggs with the yolk is you're going to be able to absorb, it's bioavailable due to the contents of the egg itself, which will allow you to absorb more nutrients. So it's more efficient. And the fact you have chickens that you grow, take care of yourself, if I remember correctly, the fact that you have that, your chickens are giving you a daily multivitamin, is the way I like to think about it. Biotin, magnesium, let me even do a search. Choline, there's so many things in the chickens of egg, okay? Thank you, Maggie. Let me do a quick little co-pilot. Let's see. Vitamin and minerals of organic eggs. All right, let's just take a quick little look, and I'm going to put this in the chat. Okie dokie. So you got vitamin A, you got vitamin D, vitamin B12, D12, folate, biotin 7, and choline. Right? That's what I'm saying. And the minerals, you got phosphorus, you got iodine, you got selenium, you got iron, you got zinc. So zinc, iron, selenium, iodine, phosphoric acid. Yeah, so it's like if you have the opportunity to get vitamins and minerals from food, try not to use a supplement. Only use a supplement if it's convenient or you're deficient. And remember, if you give your body the right amount of micronutrients and macros and calories, you might actually be a little bit surprised at how efficient the body really is. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't. Yeah, Game Changer hasn't said if there's flagging, it could be a few different reasons. Could be a few different reasons for the flag. I'm working on some stuff. Next question. Oh, Game Changer. You got no worries that for me, dude. Look, you got no worries for me unless, look, if I may miss something in the chat because I'm working on some music stuff, I kind of got these circle of fifths, and I don't really read music, but I like patterns, so I'm just doing my thing, man. I've only got about 1 hour of sleep. I had to go visit a friend last night and help her out with all the stuff in the yard and generator, and she gave me about 24 fresh eggs, so she paid me with eggs, which was really cool. And then, just, well, I'm working on some stuff, but you got to know, I'm not going to ban you. Unless you do something that's really bad, I'm not going to ban you, brother. Exactly. So here you go. Let's see. Maggie, he has underage mods, and sometimes they miss under things. Yeah, sometimes my moderators, sometimes there's some young moderators that are in the chat that I've made a bunch of moderators because anybody who's new in the chat, I have what I call the Blue Crew. Okay. The Blue Crew are people that have engaged positively in my chat, but some of them are younger than I thought because I never met any of these people. It's a live stream. So my idea was to create a community of the Blue Crew where people could come together and know when they see someone with that blue badge, they know that that's someone who's kind of part of this community where people come in, they ask questions, and I'm trying to connect people. So think about my channel as a room that's like got a filter in it where all the buttholes and all the naughty people who talk about weird stuff, they're kind of filtered out. And then the Blue Crew, they come back in. We have people from the UK, London. We have like JMP, who's in London. We have Chess Devil, who's in Naples. We have Maggie, who's been in the chat. She's probably been contributing more in the last streams than a lot of people. I have my managing moderator, Cameron Casanova, 97, and Game Changers here, and feel free to ask me anything. Like I say that in the chat Q&A as a Navy veteran, a licensed insurance agent, personal trainer, self-taught piano player that tries to compose. We have farm out here and stuff, so I really come with the perspective of just trying to talk to you. Yeah, and if you're in the chat, all I say is give me a thumbs up if you can. If you can, give a thumbs up. That really does help the channel. Just put a live little thumbs up, and I'm going to work on this little pentatonic scale. And also, thanks, Game Changer, for giving me a compliment. I'm doing a pentatonic scale, which is basically the 1, 2, 3, and the 5 and the 6 of a major scale. So you take a 7-note major scale, there's 7 notes, and then you drop the 4th and the 7th. See, this is the major scale. Now, if I drop that 4th note and the 7th, it sounds like this. This is the pentatonic. And you can add a left hand, which could be like. Yeah, something like that. And then you just kind of put it all together. I like the, while you talk, I'm going to work on my left hand pattern. What type of shed is this? This is a galvanized, it's galvanized, I forget what it is. I want to say it's like a higher version of tin. I forget what the metal is. but it's weather controlled on the outside, temperature controlled unit. And I know it looks like some people think I'm Jesse from Breaking Bad and I'm cooking up meth in here or something. That's what sometimes people say. But no, I'm a Navy veteran, dude. So I got my 1776. This is kind of like my little spot, you know what I mean? Yeah, so I can get you to gain weight. Game changer, what are you currently eating to try to gain weight because you're about to start working out and stimulating your body with weights? So here's one of my desks. This is where I run my business. I sell insurance, right? It's kind of my main thing that I do. In addition to, doing a personal training and YouTube and some stuff, but that's kind of where I do this business right here. Got my standing desk. Got a note over here, notes on my board. This is kind of what over here. And then for some people that come in, sometimes I sit over here. I wanted to do a podcast, and maybe I can eventually, but right over here, that's where I sit and talk to you guys sometimes. So if I were to come over here, right, and put this like this and kind of tune in, I could kind of make it look like this if I wanted to, like this. You cut this light on and be like, what's going on, guys? It's your favorite coach and entrepreneur, Coach Chris. So it's kind of got a good feel over here, So I've got this little area right here. Oh, what is that? That just happens to be a copy of the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your daily reminder that Amendment 2 of the Constitution, which is declared the Bill of Rights December 15th, 1791, that was 5 years before 1776, July 4th. The Second Amendment is, as regulated, a well-regulated militia, being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms. So remember, the Founding Fathers did not want us to lose the ability to bear our arms. And in history, whenever the people have had that right taken away, that has been a gateway to socialism and fascism and repression. Just your daily reminder. We've got to remind ourselves of them things. Anyways, back to your regularly scheduled broadcast over here. Ow, I'm going to stump my toe. Next. Okay, let's go over here. We'll put this over here. There we go. Coming back over here. What we got? Thank you for your service. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Appreciate that. Let's see. Yay, we got 22 live. Here we go. That's cool. Game changer. Yes, I was up all night. Hello. Yeah, we got 22. Feel free to double tap that. Give me a few things I should add. Yep, I got you. I put tuna, eggs somehow, chicken in my new diet. Okay. Yo, dog. Glad to see you back at it. Austin. Thanks, Austin. Welcome in. Austin. Grinding, baby. Grinding to get monetized. 23,326. So I've got 2,326 of the 3,000 needed. So still pushing. Thumbs up. It really helps me out. I got to you, game changer, so I can already see one issue in your diet to gain weight right now. I already see one issue, okay? Yo, dog, there we go, game changer, by the way. Thank you for your service. I'm truly sorry you fought for this country. I'm truly sorry you fought for this country to turn out like this. Well, bearing your arms. Yeah, Austin, I'm a big believer in the Second Amendment. And I use this as an example as, without the Second Amendment, we probably wouldn't have defeated the Native Americans, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that's great or war sucks. People die. It's not right. It's just, it is what it is. But at the end of the day, having your weapon taken away is not going to be advantageous to win a duel or to protect yourself. If you cannot wrap your head around that logic of why, I'm welcome to discuss that. And if you have a reason why, I'd like to hear it, but no one's ever convinced me of a reason why it's not a good idea to be able to own weapons to defend yourself. The issue is the moral and the ethical compass of the people. If you have a group of people who are morally and ethically sound, there's no worries with the guns. Now, if you have a country where their morals and their ethics are not ethically sound, then that's on the individual. But even without a gun, that person is still going to harm people. The guns will just be a choice. They could use a knife, they could make a homemade bomb. If morally and ethically depleted people, people that don't have any sense of right and wrong, want to do bad, they're going to do bad, whether it's with their bare hands, with a rock, or with a gun. So it only makes sense that good ethical people can defend themselves from those people. Because in the Constitution, we have the right to a freedom of assembly. You can peacefully have a peaceful assembly, but that's not a protest. A protest where you throw, like if there's crazy people throwing stuff and throwing rocks or lighting things on fire or just destroying property, that's not a peaceful assembly. So that's actually not part of the Constitution. So know the difference between a protest and a peaceful assembly. I have a copy of the Declaration of Independence if you want to reference in the Bill of Rights over there. But I'm just me, man. All right, what we got here? Dude, your back is white as heck. Yeah, dude, so I, like I said, I don't really care about, I do a lot of pull-ups, man. Yeah, my friends used to call me Latissimus Saurus Rex. So if you want wide back, man, just start doing all sorts of pull-ups and chin-ups, man. You do pull-ups this way, you do it on bands, and I'm not just saying do 10. I mean, like, okay, let's get back to this. I appreciate the compliment. Let's take this one at a time. Let's go back to, where is my notepad? Okay, let's talk about nutrition. Austin, 3 7-round sawed off, 6, oh shit, dude. It looks like your man cave. Is it like your man cave or where you actually live? What about heat and frost? Are those issues? That's a good question. Nah, so this is not where I live. This is definitely my man cave. And to answer your question, we're going to get back to Game Changer. I have a temperature controlled unit right there. I have some stuff over here. Yeah, I do have my futon here, but I do work, and I work from this computer, and I run a business out of here. So this is just my man cave, essentially. So when we come out here, you can see out here, this is where we're at. We're in the middle of the woods. So, yeah, great question. Whoa, great question. Great question. So, yeah, this is just where I like when I do streams and stuff, I have my nephew out there and some family. So my nephew's out there. He's like 4 years old. I have family out there. So when I do my streams, because I made a goal to get monetized, I can't really be around them all the time because, it kind of distracts me from my stream. So this is just my way of splitting up my time. They know when I'm in here, I'm dedicating an hour to a stream. And then when I'm done, I go over there because I try to do at least an hour every day of a stream. And it sucks sometimes, but that's just what you got to do. So, Game Changer has been patient. Let's go over the food first, Game Changer. All right, first things first. You haven't mentioned your goal is to gain weight, is what you said. Correct me. Correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Game Changer. Mr. Game Changer, correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't your goal to gain weight? Is that what you said? One day I'll learn guitar. That is on the bucket list. All right. Game Changer. Yeah, Austin, sub-panel splitter run directly to the house for heating. I have a Wi-Fi modem in here. This is if I had to live in here, I could. Other than plumbing and a kitchen, which is in the house, I could definitely live in here, without a doubt. I've lived in a tent before out in Afghanistan, which wasn't this nice. So, but this is just where I go to study. I mean, I like to have a place away from the family where I could come in here, study, work on some music and all that. So, okay.
So Game Changer, this is very important to me, so I'm not, okay. Well, Game Changer, you said two things. You said you wanted to gain weight, and you said you wanted to feel better. So, if your whole goal is just to gain weight, you may not feel better. Is your goal to be light, healthy, and strong? If that's the case, then that's a little bit different. But I can tell you, if you just want to put on some fat and some muscle together and get bigger and stronger with no concern with your health, no concern to how you feel, I can tell you how to do that. I've coached plenty of people how to go in bulks like that. I don't recommend it, but this isn't what I want because I'm not you. I'm a professional trainer and nutrition guy, right? I've got my certifications. I was in the Navy. I trained at University of Pittsburgh like 10 years ago. You know, I volunteered for them, and by volunteering for them, I got to learn a lot about human performance and food, and I was always in there picking their brain. So what's more important to you? I realize it's my own way. I just want to feel better. Kevin! Let me welcome Kevin back in. Welcome back in, brother. Hey, Kevin. Put a chat in here. Hey. Doing my thing. Doing my thing, man. So, I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. So, here's the thing. If you're eating tunas and you're eating chickens, how is your energy right now? Do you feel good or do you feel lethargic? That's kind of important. And how often are you training? And are you doing physical labor all day? Like, are you someone who does physical labor and moving on your feet all day? And depending on the answer to those questions, I'm going to make a recommendation to alter your food. And assuming it fits within your budget. All right, how tall are you? I mean, your weight doesn't really mean anything unless I know your BMI, your body mass index compared to your body fat percentage. But let's just say 110 pounds is not that heavy, but what's your height? What's your height? I'm doing well, brother. Thanks for asking. I'm going to stream here for a little bit. You said you're 110 pounds at 6 foot tall? That's pretty thin, man. I don't think you're, is that what your picture looks like? Is that you in the picture? You said 110 pounds? That don't make sense, brother. Let's see here. Kevin, it's going better, man. I got the ability to download some stuff on Spotify now. Okay, so if you're 110 pounds and you don't have energy and you're 6 foot tall, I feel like those metrics don't make sense because I'm 6'4" and I used to be 150. For some reason, I'm thinking that that kind of almost sounds like malnutrition territory, right? But here's what I'll say. Oh, thank you, Kevin. I appreciate that. Well, I would say if you don't have energy, it might be that you need to eat more food. And I would say I would up my fats. I would get peanut butter, real peanut butter, and avocado. And every time you eat eggs and protein, like tuna, chicken, steak, all that stuff, you can have that. But I'd be eating a lot more fat. I'd be eating like peanut butters and avocados, and I would see if that boosted your energy. Because fat has 9 calories per gram. Proteins and carbs have 4 calories per gram. So if you're trying to get more calories in and have energy and you're working all day, kind of sounds like you're working yourself thin. So if you're working yourself thin, I would up my carbs and my fats for energy, specifically avocados and peanut butter. And then if you can do dairy, go get some raw milk. Start drinking milk if you can handle it. If not, no big deal. But I wouldn't be focusing on protein if I was you. I'd be focusing on energy, such as carbs and fats, because 6 foot tall at 110 pounds, that's kind of like, I'm pretty sure, I'm going to look at this, I'm pretty sure that's malnourishment and that. Let's see here. Unless you're taking 110 kilograms. Yeah, a typical healthy weight is between 140 and 180. So I'm going to go out on a bridge and say that if you're 6 foot tall and 110 pounds, you're malnourished. I'm going to say that. Yeah, but that changes things, man. That changes things. So I would say, nah, if you're thinking about raw milk just being the red cap, nah, that's whole milk. Raw milk means that the milk hasn't been pasteurized with high heat, and essentially it's more bioavailable. It's got more good and bad bacteria, enzymes in it, so usually people find it easier to absorb. But if you're on a budget, then I would say avocados, peanut butters, and I wouldn't just be eating protein, I would be eating more energy. Because let's be fair, if you're really 110 pounds at 6 foot tall, which I doubt it, but if that is the case, don't think I'm making fun of you. Please don't think that. Because I wouldn't make fun of anyone on my chat. But if that's actually your height and weight, then you're probably malnourished, and you don't need to be eating more protein, you need to be eating more energy. Your body needs energy. The last thing I'd be worried about is protein. I'd be eating a bunch of fat, like peanut butters, avocados, whole eggs. Hell, I'd probably get a bunch of pasta and butter and just fill that stuff up and like thicken you out a bit. Because I guarantee you probably ain't got no damn energy if you're that. If you're 110 pounds at 6 foot tall, you probably feel like death. Unless you're like an extreme endurance athlete and you're running like a shit ton all the time, you're probably feeling like death. And those fats are going to give you a better source of energy. That would be my opinion. Okay. Well, it's really hard to believe, man. Because people come in here all the time and they say weird stuff and they do these things, and it's just, I know people troll and I know people pretend to be this way. I know there's some robots in the chat. All I'm saying is this, man. If that's generally you, which still my radar is kind of like, yeah. But if that truly is you, you need to start eating more calories. And then once you get a healthy weight, then worry about it. Because at your point, I think you should be shoving down good, healthy food. And as far as working out, I wouldn't be working out if I was you. Unless you're just starting from nothing. I mean, you said you worked on a farm all day and you're moving around, so you're active. Sounds like you're working yourself thin, not eating enough. And when you do eat, you're eating protein. But protein isn't energy. Usually fats and carbs are energy. So, you know, if you can afford a big old thing of peanut butter and avocado, frozen bananas, milk, and peanut butter, start drinking that stuff every day, 3 times a day with real food. Oh, you'll thicken up. But here's the other thing. If you're working all day on the farm, and then you start working out and you don't eat properly, now you're spending even more calories. Remember, calories are like energy on a budget. You eat some of the calories and then you expel some of the calories. Does that make sense? What we got here? Locking In Institute. Welcome in, Locking In. What we got here, man? Let's see here. Where are you coming in from, Lock? Welcome in. Yeah, Kevin, it does. I mean, well, no, I mean, and again, I'm not making fun of you, man. It's just, man, I'm 6'4", and before I joined the Navy, right, I was 160 pounds as a long distance runner, and I was pretty thin. You were thinner than I was at that time, and I was like I was running 80, 90 miles a week. I looked like an Ethiopian. So what I'm getting at is, if that's you, that's fine. But I would bump up. You know, if you're that lean and you're just eating meat, you ain't going to gain weight. I mean, your body needs more fat. So, hell, I'd probably just get a bunch. If you want to gain weight and have energy, this might be unorthodox, but I would get a bunch of raw butter and a bunch of Italian pasta, some turkey sausage, and I'd make some big old tomato, turkey sausages and pasta with low-fat Parmesan cheese, or hell, you can do full fat. And I'd be eating that stuff all day with some eggs. Protein, fats, carbs, vitamins, minerals, just eat that all day and keep moving, and then your energy's to go up. If you don't have cancer and you're like, unless you like have cancer or you're coming out of chemo or something, I mean, damn, I feel like you're coming out of a concentration camp, bro. I mean, I think people in the concentration camps were like that thin. You get what I'm saying? So the last thing you want to do is start working out without focusing on nutrition. You need to like stop doing so much activity if you can within your lifestyle and add more into the food. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Nah, man, I mean, I'll tell you what though, if you're really that small and you make a comeback story, you're going to go viral. I personally think that would be one of the craziest, like, transformations I think I would have ever heard of. You'd probably be in the top 5%. So there's you some inspiration right there. And yeah, I'll tell you some information and the nutrition and stuff. But I would focus on eating more than my training. Right, because you're doing so much activity to get you that thin. So I'd focus more on eating and stretching and make sure you're healthy. And then depending on your strength, I don't know how strong you are, can you do pull-ups? Hell, if you're 6 foot tall, 110 pounds, if you're strong, you should be able to do 50 pull-ups. And if you can only, how many pull-ups can you do? You can do 50 pull-ups. I mean, you're only lifting 110 pounds, but that's still body weight. I mean, that... if anything, getting into calisthenics, if you're that thin, man, you'd probably be hella calisthenics if you built some strength, because you wouldn't have as much weight to move. Your relative strength could go up. You train for relative strength, that could be good. Tylee, what we got here? Let me get back into the chat. Makes perfect sense. Thanks, Kevin. Kevin in here. Y'all, thanks, man. Thanks, man. All right. Taffy. Yes, Taffy. Yes, Yes, yo. Welcome in. Dude, I would give you the credit you deserve. For sure. Yeah, man, make some videos and introduce yourself. I think what you should do, since you just started your channel, my opinion, tag me and introduce yourself and say, hey, you know, you don't got to give all the details, but I would say, hey, certain things caused me to do this and that. I'm introducing myself. I've got this goal. I went to a stream with @MyMusicMuscle. That's me, right? That's your favorite coach and entrepreneur, Coach Chris. There's my plug. And say, hey, he encouraged me to do this. And say, go welcome his stream. And I mean, I would probably keep along with your journey because that would be a hellacious awesome story, man. That'd be a hellacious awesome story. All right, well, we got this. Never Loser Rick's back. What we got here? Maggie's back. You said I got a much better game plan? What do you mean you got a much better game plan? Oh, you mean you saying the advice I gave you them? Well done for your hard work. Very good. Dude, I would give you credit for sure. If you're saying you have a game plan now based on talking with me, then that makes me feel good. I hope that's what you mean. I hope you don't mean that, screw it, I've got a better plan than what Coach Chris said, because I'd be like, well, damn, why'd you come into my stream and ask me, dude? Hell, go do your own thing, man. No, I'm just playing. You got it. I'll do it because well, yeah, I mean, hell, failure is one hell of a teacher. I ain't ever learned anything unless I failed. You gotta fail to succeed. The best success stories are those that are the best failures and they don't give up. And it's only through adversity that you get better. And I'll tell you something, the only difference between a lump of coal and a diamond is that the lump of coal, under pressure, turns into a diamond. So right now, you're a little piece of coal, Mr. Game Changer, and you're going to turn into a diamond. Just don't give up. Don't give up on you. Try to find something that's accountability. Find an accountability buddy. We'll let ourselves down before we let other people down. You got it because, hey, Rick's in here. Nicole Barbie, welcome back. Always a pleasure. Welcome. Always welcome. Chris, what's up? What up? Nicole Bobby to get. Cool. That's true. That's the only way. And now, you don't have to fail yourself to get better. That's what's good about books. You can read books on other people's failures, and then you can learn from other people's failures through books. But at the end of the day, somebody's got to fail in order to grow. So, keep that in mind. Hope that makes sense. Let me check my text messages here real quick. Oh, one of my friends sent me a good message. Alrighty. I hit someone by accident. Oh, did you hit someone? Hey, why did you, what did Kaveen say? Why'd you hide Kaveen, man? Kaveen, he's usually pretty good, man. Kaveen or Kevin? Don't know why, I mean, no big deal. I mean, like, I don't mean no big deal, but try not to let that happen a lot if you can, just because, especially when you have someone like Kaveen. I don't know if it's Kaveen or Kevin. You have to tell me. But that's all right. Accidents happen. You know, I'm pretty forgiving, you know. But, yeah, he's actually been contributing to the conversations good today. So, that's all right. Remember, even the Bible says, ye who has not sinned, cast your first stone. You know what I'm saying? Easy to hate, hard to love. Typically, the path of less resistance is less growth. Not to say there's not such things as efficiencies. You know what I'm saying? question. Braveheart, you picked up an onion head? Yeah. Don't be an onion head. 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 Welcome in, Braveheart. Braveheart, welcome in. Welcome. Welcome. Yeah. You got to have an element of randomness to what you do. Got to have an element of randomness to what you do. Because without it doesn't, without being random, what is worth doing anything? Uh-oh. Let's see. Come back here. I'm out of the chat. There we go. Do, 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 do. Okay, so that is my dedicated stream time. I know you guys have been used to me going like 3 hours here, 4 hours here, but I have hit 2,236, I believe, is the metric. So let me pull this back. Duplicate. So we're at 4,079 subscribers, guys. 4,079 subscribers. And as far as earning goes, we are at 3,365 to 3,000 we need. So we're closing in to where if I continue to stream an hour here, an hour there, and it catches up. Now keep in mind, I'm going to be doing a lot more of my pipeline business with my clients. Business is starting to heat up in the insurance world. There's some things moving on. So I'm probably going to be doing more cold calls and warm calls and getting my leads like I normally do. And I may be doing my streaming more at night for an hour or two, but I'm still going to be streaming. But for you guys who are used to me streaming during this time of the day, I'm probably not going to be able to do that as much just because there's a lot of money to be made in some new insurance policies. So because I'm a licensed agent, I really want to take advantage of that. I really do. So, all right, guys, that's our time for today. Let me pull this over here. Very cool. Awesome, awesome. What you doing? What you mean, brother? Game Changer, you're very welcome, dude. Hey, Game Changer, you're very welcome, man. And all I can say is, dude, just make it happen, man. You'll make it happen. Chris is locked in. Well, yeah, man, I got to be locked in, man. It's like, I don't have my life insurance license for nothing, guys. When the money calls, I got to go take advantage of it. Sometimes it's good for the season, and sometimes it's not. So it's kind of like fishing. When you see a pool of fish and you want to go catch some, but what's good about my business with the way I do insurance is I actually find people who I actually take care of and service. And a lot of times other people will sell people policies just to make money. I don't do that. You're very welcome. Peace. I need to go rest, relax. Also, how long should I grow the beard? I need to know that. It's things to talk about. If I ever shave my beard, I'm going to have a big old mustache. My mustache is going to grow out. I'm going to grow a handlebar mustache. I'm going to grow this bad boy out to here. So I don't plan on shaving my mustache for a while. So peace. Have fun for 2 months. Well, it could be, we'll see. As long as you want. All right, guys, stay good, stay blessed, and I'll see you next time.